Well, it's time for episode 7. Okay, we made it. We are now at episode 7. And she's gonna be a little too picky. She's a little bit too much. These kind of shows show you why people are single. I feel like if I was on the show, you'd be like, oh. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, wife coach and a self-love advocate. If it's your first time visiting my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. So this is our last episode in Cabo as we transition to DC, where they have the same concept as Married at First Sight, which is there is a centralized home. Both people are there versus being in their respective places, or one person moving into the other person's home, which makes everything an even playing field. I will go couple by couple. I will talk about the group dynamic. And well, let's just get into it, and let's start with Hannah and Nick. Listen, I like that they were being accountable for their actions and what they participate or how they show up and what may need to be changed. Like Nick was like, you know, sometimes I don't think about the things that I say, and Hannah was like, I'm a little bitchy, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate when you're able to self-reflect, be introspective, and really see the things that need to be changed. However, you have to go one step further, which means actually making an effort towards changing. And that takes a level of intentionality, and it does not happen overnight. So of course, grace is going to be required. And honestly, if I'm in the process of, you know, I hear you and I'm trying to make adjustments, I don't fucking want to hear, oh, I said that. That's because that hits a nerve, huh? I don't want to hear about what I said I'm working on constantly. If I say it today, tomorrow, don't expect things to be like poof, like I got a magic wand and it's gonna change. Please and thank you. Nevertheless, when we get back into the real world, oh, before I get there, okay, that whole bungee suspension in the air, it's a no for me, dog. I'm not bungee jumping from anything at all, okay? Low key, high key, God key, scared of heights, but I am going to tackle that fear, because the one thing about me is I don't want to let nothing hold me back, nothing to be afraid of. I do want to jump from a plane. Anyway, in midair, no. Okay, no. And it's gonna be tandem when I jump from the plane. No, it's a no. Bungee jumping midair, suspended on a whatchamajigga, no. Okay, so now that we're back in the real world, I was like, yo, is she like constantly digging? When we saw them having group dinner, she was like, I've taught him a lot. I'm sure eventually he'll teach me something. Ma'am, this relationship is doomed. You're sitting in your living room and you talking about you're the more mature one. You're more emotionally intelligent and intelligent too. And he just kind of laughs it off. That is going to play out very quickly, and you are going to push him out the door further and further and further and further. It's just way too many digs for me, okay? Garrett and Taylor, you know, they are taking it slow and steady, and she was like, it's at a pace that's comfortable for me. So now, when do we transition to see if they are physically, intimately, and sexually compatible? Like, I love you, babe. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Then my love yous is working on my nerves. See, last episode, I was Delulu with them, and I was like, I think I want to be in a committed relationship that look like this. Now you see me, I'm all like, this too much. I love you. It's, oh, I love you overload. I know it's 6 different couples, but my God. Anyway, when they get back to the real world, They look through each other's social media, and I wrote down, you're gonna have to really trust me and really be secure in who you are to look at my social media. And I'm not talking about the stuff that I put on the outside, because I put all the things, right? I'm low-key an influencer, right? When I say low-key, I mean like way low. But the part that's gonna get you is my inbox. And I'm friendly and I speak to everybody, and they be like, you pretty, I want to take you out. I'd be like, thank you. That's all I got. But if you aren't secure in who you are, it may bother you. Just a smidge. Anyway, he literally just has a whole bunch of social media of fish. Like, of course he was going to show her. All he does is go to work. Remember, he hasn't been in a relationship for 7 years. So all he does is go to work and go fishing. And I feel like this is where the problem is going to be for them, is how they divvy their time together. But they're the first couple that we see actually meet the family. They go to Gary's parents' house, and it's her mother, his mother, his father, his niece's nephew, and his sister there. They seem very welcoming to Taylor, and she is holding herself well. She's very poised, very elegant, right? Very honest, and the mom is concerned. I think I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be, because live your life. Hey. Because honestly, if I was younger, and I would probably sign up for 1 or 2 of these shows, I would sign up. Y'all would have seen me on something by now. But at 48, ain't no shows for me. Ain't no shows for me. 48 is pretty much over the hill when it comes to these shows. But baby, I don't care, because what I tell y'all last time, on my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good, okay? And so, yeah. I wouldn't be able to, I'm too old now. But when, let's say, Ready to Love first started, I was in my early 40s, and I would have done it. But I didn't. They never came to LA. Anyway, it's not about me. It's not about me. The mom, she starts crying because she loves her son, and this process is moving fast. It's faster than Married at First Sight, but Married at First Sight, they already married. At least in this option, they get the option to be like, I can't do it, this ain't it, I love you but no. But I really liked how she articulated herself. And then they're like, oh, your mom and your family doesn't want to be part of the show. They're traditionalists, I bet. I bet they're traditionalists. But she's all like, she wants to be a part. They understand how important it is, so they're going to figure out how to get them to her. See how that goes. Then we see Ramses and Marissa, and I love a man that's willing to be my photographer. Baby, listen, my videographer, willing to take all the photos. Like, because most people don't. They don't. They don't. Like, you got to train them there, because most people, well, I can't say that, because I'm going to tell you. Here I'm talking about my husband again, my late husband again. He must be around in spirit, because he would have took all the photos, honey. He would have already redone my garage so that I had everything that I needed in there, so that this would not be, or he would be there. I don't know. But I would have a whole studio for me to be able to do all the things that I do outside of my Stream 1 income. Why, Talisa? Why? Let's come back. That's why your videos be so long. They talk about the wedding and that she's glad that he's going to, participate. And I wrote, his style is, he's got great fashion sense and style. You would want him to be a part of it. And every time she talks, we are reminded how she is definitely anti-patriarchy. I am too. Like, it's toxic. Like, that's what the country has been founded on. Nevertheless, she wants her guests to wear all black. And he was like, that's weird. I don't think that's what do y'all think? All the guests wear all black and they wear white? I actually kind of like it. That doesn't mean that the decor has to be black. The decor could be, all the decor could be white, or silver or something like that, or shiny blingy stuff. And then they are, like she said, shine. I actually thought that might be nice. Let's see what they come up with. But one of the things that they said, is that they don't want it to be a cis hetero man at all. So they'll be happy with a woman or they or legitimate qua, right? So that's a thing. They would rather it's spiritual. Before I keep going, he's willing to move to Baltimore because it's a 2-hour drive from Baltimore to DC, and you know she's in law school and he's open to it. Another reason why she chose him. Like, very flexible, very understanding, because he can work from home or he can get another job. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, he's very accommodating in some ways, but I like that he has boundaries and knows how to articulate things that he's against. So she used to be Mormon and he was in ministry as it relates to Christian faith, and they both have shied away from the church. Him because he felt like things weren't sitting right in her because patriarchy. But she said, you know, there's some of the nicest people that are Mormons, right? And I wrote down, they are perfect for each other. Now, they had their first disagreement and it was about the military and the concept of the military, but I'm gonna give them credit because it was very amicable. He was able to articulate himself, and so was she. But here's the thing. She's been part of the military her entire life, but has walked away from it because she does not agree with the concept of military, our country going in and, you know, eliminating entire countries and, you know, just, I get it, right? But she also said, I'm glad that we have it because the United States of America is a bully. And if we did not have the presence of the military, we would be in trouble. And he just doesn't agree. He was like, don't people volunteer? Don't they sign up for it? Like, it's a choice. And she made a valid point. People are making choices at 18 that they don't understand, right? That they may not agree with. And she's one of those people. Even though she served all that time and thought about being a reservist, her mindset today says, that's not what I want to do. So she's feeling judged because of her past, but people move forward. And he's like, I wouldn't be with you if you were any of these things, but I just want them to recognize that neither one of you are in that space now. You guys have come together collectively and are moving forward and building and creating the life that you want for yourselves. And neither one of you are in the military. So let's not put all the eggs in this cart saying that this one thing is something that you disagree on, because actually now you are in agreement. He did say, I'm not gonna hold your past against you. So that was cool. That was, you know, that was nice. That was nice. But I really like that they were able to have a disagreement and still hear and understand one another. Listen, that's goal. Okay, that's relationship goals. I don't care. Neither of them, if they were triggered, because she did say it was uncomfy, it didn't stop the conversation. But I'm wondering, is this an impasse for them in their relationship? Surely I hope not, because they're growing on me. The way they mesh together, like puzzle pieces that fit, the way they understand one another, and both are like weirdo in a good way quirky. I really hope not. I really hope not. Okay, so let's talk Tim and Alex before they leave Cabo. They reconciled, and the crossing of the bridge on the ATV was like symbolic for, we crossed that bridge now. Like, I love that he wants to hit a reset. I love that he's able to articulate himself. I love that she's open to the fact that there may be some things that she needs to change about herself. Now, do I think they're gonna work? I don't. Though she's willing to make adjustments, it's not gonna be fast enough. She's easily irritated and annoyed. It's not gonna be fast enough for either of them, and he doesn't give grace. So I see that being a problem for them. But as it stands today, I'm really glad that they are willing to work on it. Only other thing I wrote down about them is that he doesn't like to cuddle because he gets hot. Anybody else? knowing though that I have had partners that like to cuddle, I can give you about 10-15 minutes and maybe a little something in the middle of the night because I get so hot. And now that I'm perimenopausal, baby listen, I run hot. My body runs hot. Tyler and Ashley, they didn't have much. All I wrote down is that they talk about their family a little bit and what they want it to look like, having a tradition. That's it. And then I wrote down why she ain't wrapping her hair. Why is she acting like she not a black girl? Like, why is these girls not wrapping their hair and putting these bonnets on? Like, that's, hello, it's real life. We wrap our hair, we put it in 2 braids, we wear bonnets because I'm getting ready to go to bed. I didn't braid it up, put the stuff on it and braided it up. This would need to be re-braided. But you see what I'm saying? Why are you acting like that's not what you do? Girl, if you don't, go ahead and wrap your hair up like black girls do. But I do still like the way that they communicate. They do that very well. But then we got Steven and Monica. And Monica is starting to get on my nerves. She really is. She really is. You can really see how she ended up. As gorgeous as she is, as intelligent as she is, as emotionally mature and able to articulate her wants, needs, and desires, you can still see how she's single. I tell y'all, if I was on one of these shows, y'all would be looking like, oh, okay, Talisa Ray, you dope as fuck. But ma'am, this is why. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I be too hard on people, I think, and my walls be up, and it takes a long time for them to come down because I have to trust you in order for me to really be vulnerable, because I want to be soft. I want to be soft, but you have to be a soft place for me to land. You have to be a safe place for me to land in order for me to really be soft. And honestly, I don't think I ever been. I was married and I wasn't soft. So hopefully I'm gonna come on here one of these days and have said I met someone who allows me to be this beautiful, soft being that is in the inside. This ain't about me. So didn't I tell y'all though her love language was words of affirmation? Number 1, words of affirmation. Number 2, acts of service. Number 3, gifts. But I was like, girl, if you don't, are you really about to get on him about not getting the flowers? Like, I understand you wanting flowers, but saying his words and actions aren't meeting, y'all just met. It's only been 15 days or something, like 3 weeks. And you want him to find you flowers in Mexico. I mean, I know they got them, but that's your, because everything else he's been concerned. Like a couple episodes ago, babe, can you get my fuzzy slippers? Any of them would work. Babe, can you get my Steven blanket? Like all of those things shows that's an act of service. Words of affirmation, he's been affirming you constantly. So maybe gifts are higher up on your list than you think, Monica, because the way you talked about them flowers through this whole episode, and flowers and groceries and flowers and groceries and flowers, I said But not only that, I wrote down she's going to be a little bit difficult, but also on the flip side of that, I'm glad that she's able to, did I just say this? Say it again. Articulate her wants, needs, and desires and her dislikes. I'm glad that she can vocalize them, but the way she's doing it, it's gonna be a lot. I feel like it's gonna be overwhelming for poor Steven. It's gonna be overwhelming. I also wrote down that this is where where having compatible love languages works well. He said gifts was so far down. It was number 5 on his, because the truth is, although my acts of service are my love language is quality service, Lord, quality time and acts of service. That's how I receive love. But if yours is physical touch and words of affirmation, I need to speak your love language to you, and you would need to speak mine to me. And because that is not how our brains and our hearts and our spirits are trained, it is a little bit harder to do those things. So having someone who has compatible love languages is really beneficial to you. We really need to have the love languages conversation. I know it's everywhere, but we need to have it, like, and make it plain. She name dropping, materialistic. Don't buy me no Kate Spade. Child, that's the name he knew. She said YSL. Who was that? Louis Vuitton. Who is that? He don't know. So here's where the differences come. And she talks about, what does she call their financial differences? She called them something. I don't know what she called them, and I can't remember. Look, and I wrote down, I love flowers, but I can buy them myself. Like, bring me flowers. But because I love them so much the way that I do, I go to the flower mart and curate my own flowers. But he's backpedaling. This sweet guy is backpedaling because what's happening is because she wants to be married so bad, and she's putting all these things on him. And it's a lot coming at him in many directions. And we're gonna watch how he interacts, because he's unable to articulate, like, this is fast, or maybe it's too much, and maybe this isn't something I wanted to do. And she was like, you're the first one who was talking about marriage, that I wanted to get married, and now and I also wrote down, he's always gonna cave into her. He's got to put his wants, needs, and desires up front too, and let it be known, and not let her bully him. Hold on. Oh, and here's where I was like, are you an I love you overload? Because her, I love you, babe, I love you. This was getting on my nerves. Like, every person, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like, are you saying I love you because you're trying to make yourself I love you? You're trying to make yourself love them? I love you, I love you, I love you. And so I'm kind of against that. I would love for them to say, I love this about you, I love this thing about you, because I love you is just really a blanket statement, and you don't know me. So start talking about out loud. So how they do, here's a trick that has worked for me in more situations than not. I wouldn't even say it's a trick. It's really just calling in the things that you desire, but in a way for your partner. So when you're upset with your bouillabaisse, your spouse, your partner, your romantic love interest, you need to start thinking about 10 things that you like about them. Automatically your brain kind of switches from that negative, you know, he's not as smart as I am. I'm doing Hannah. He's not, you know, emotionally mature, all those things. Instead, you know, he really cares for me and he thinks about me. Like, actively think about the things that you enjoy. Now we're at the group dinner. All I wrote down was Monica gonna be a problem. When he said, okay babe, I'm coming, and he never got outside for them fireworks, I was like, oh, she ain't gonna like that. It's such a romantic evening and you're in here. She's picky and she's bratty. He was also talking about some other, oh shit, is that it? That's all the notes I got? We done? I can go watch episode 8. They aren't compatible. Steven and Monica aren't compatible in the way they think either. And so they're gonna have to figure out, how do we do the 3 C's? I had wrote that down somewhere and I don't know who it was for. Y'all know what the 3 C's are in relationships, right? When it comes to me, commitment, compromise, and communication. And not necessarily in that order. It is important that those 3 things exist in your relationship. I'm done. I'm just trying to see who I wrote that down for. Oh, Tim and Alex. I wrote down, I'm really glad he can express himself and she's willing to listen. And the 3 C's are important. Communication, commitment, and compromise. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Love is Blind, episode 7. No, season 7, episode 7. If it's your first time visiting my channel, click that subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. Then there's that notification. You want to be alerted, so click it too. Share it with your friends. Have them come over and be like, this girl, this girl, all of that, whatever you want to put after, this girl is nuts, this girl is brilliant, this girl, whatever it is, send them over here so they can see, okay? Know that I love you in real life, and I want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs, kisses, and lots of love. I will see you on the next review.